No, I cut myself.
Oh, not good. No music?
No, there was a countdown.
All right. Well, it's a bonus episode.
It's not. I got music playing right now.
I got zero music.
I don't have any music either.
All right. Well, I can edit it in. Go for it.
Recording on your stream, so it really doesn't matter. Let me know when it's over.
Go for it.
All right. Welcome everybody to a special edition of Dysfunction Junction. My name is Chris Burns. With me, as always, the producer extraordinaire, the man with no hair, and proud new grandfather, Big Herm, Michael P.S. Herman.
What is up? What is up, everybody out there?
Joining us for this very special Summerslam 2023 recap is one of my favorite people that I ever got to write with back in the Wrestling Online days. He is the one and the only Jonathan Beck. Jonathan, after you're done slurping on that beer, tell us how you're doing, my man.
Doing okay. Looking forward to this.
Yes, indeed. And we're actually talking behind the scenes, Jonathan and I, of trying to do more of these, whether they're a live watch along or something like that. That would also require Big Herm to be part of the situation. We have some ideas. We're just going to throw them out there, but not every freaking WWE pay-per-view or premium live event will have this kind of special designation.
No, we don't want to do the throwaway shows.
So briefly for the people, tell us when you started being a wrestling fan, and conversely, how you got with Wrestling Online and we became the hottest tag team in the history of the business.
The hottest tag team in the history of the column writing business. I became a wrestling fan when I was like 6, just flipping through my grandmother's television channels. And you know how you used to get those, you could get like pay-per-views, but you could hear it through the static on the old televisions. Yeah, so it was Hulk Hogan versus Undertaker. So I heard that, and I was hooked from then on.
Yeah, we're getting word from the people that, John, you are getting massive cutout. Does your computer have an internal microphone?
It does. You want to try that instead?
Try that. Let's see how that works. You're muted, bro. I mean, it gets any closer, he'll be the MacBook. All right, let's see. No, he did not spit beer into it, Big Al. See, already the people are not letting us down. The comments are beginning to flow. So welcome, Big Al. Hope you're having a great day. Surprised to see you here. I didn't know Big Al was a wrestling fan. John's going to come back in just a minute. So Herm and I have quite a strange history when it comes to WWE. I believe here comes John.
All right, let's try this.
Oh, that sounds gorgeous.
Is this better? All right.
Much better. All right, so
good to know that my headphones aren't working. Wonderful.
Well, now you know. We're always here to help.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
So you're talking about watching a pay-per-view through the lines, listening like all of us did at a wonderful young age.
Yes, but I was younger than you were.
You're always going to be younger than I am.
Yes. So.
Oh, see, Al says he's not a wrestling fan. He's a Dysfunction Junction fan.
There's two kind of people in the world. There are Dysfunction Junction fans, and then there are the people, the people that are wrong.
Mm.
So, John, didn't mean to step on you. Big Al is Big Al. We have to say this stuff to him or he will punch us.
I should start listening to Dysfunction Junction.
That's right. Oh, and Al says he's fat too, so we have to.
And I'm fat,
yeah.
so we got.
He's fat. I'm not fat. I don't think.
No, you're not fat. Big Al is fat. Wait, see, we're going down the wrong path.
There we
Yeah,
go.
we are. That's all right.
All right.
So you got in the game. You're about 6 years old. You're watching pay-per-views through the lines, listening, theater of the mind type stuff.
That's how I used to watch porn.
That's how we all used to watch porn.
I was
And then one day,
sheltered. I didn't get to do that.
oh, well, that's terrible. Well, now that you're, older and doing fine, you can watch it all the time. So what was the stroke of luck that brought you to WrestlingOnline.com and the team of you, myself, Colin, Jason, Ian? Oh, my God, so many good people. And then Orin and Ginger, who sucked butt.
I don't know if you know this, but I was subscribed to something called the Bagpipe Report back in like 1995,
Mm-hmm.
and it merged
Yes, it did.
in like 96 or 97.
Yep.
So I started writing in 2000 or 2001,
Okay.
just because I was like, I like wrestling and I like writing,
Well,
but I haven't done it in a while.
quite all right. But
Not
you and I have dropped in special guest columns over the last couple of years. And I think Colin likes it when some of the old crew comes back and says, I'd like to put a piece up on the website. Oh, hell yeah. Come on, do it.
He likes mine too, but he doesn't believe that I'll ever write again. So maybe I should send him a column just to keep him.
Perhaps you should. And then tag, watch me on Dysfunction Junction special episode.
No, I don't know. I don't know. Are there people watching a would-be pastor on a
Oh, yeah.
wrestling podcast? That's a thing there. I can't fucking cuss.
No, you're amongst company now because you can do that all day long right here. So before we get into the matches, I kind of want to throw a couple observations that I had about this year's SummerSlam. I loved the fact that Ford Field, it looked like WrestleMania. It had a big fight feel.
It was the same ramp as it was a couple years ago. They had that long ramp.
That long,
remember?
curvy.
Yeah.
The thing took a left turn like at Albuquerque.
Yes.
It was a long ramp. They even said, "Oh, he's taking his time getting to the ring." Yeah, because he doesn't want to get.
Yeah, for real. Like you got like I noticed things like that too. Like it worked for some of the people, but then like Bianca Belair, when she came in, she does her skip into the ring thing, and by the time she got to the ring, like she'd been skipping for like a mile and a half. Like by the time some of them with their entrances got to the ring, they were like,
They're blown up, yeah.
Christ.
But I loved the look of it. And the last couple SummerSlams, I think last year was Houston? Somewhere huge. And it looked phenomenal. The Rumble, same thing when they do that. I'm glad to see 3 out of the big 4 are getting the treatment, and Survivor Series can blow a bunch of monkeys. It's lost its luster. It doesn't hit anymore.
It has
Survivor Series is just another show. Yeah. And if you want to give something else to get in there, I think Money in the Bank is taken over as one of the biggest shows of the year.
Probably, although I hate it. I don't like
Jesus. Of course you don't.
I don't like. I like the matches. I love the matches, but the whole idea of a briefcase cashing in, it's getting old.
No, man. There's something about it, and we're going to talk about it just a little bit later on.
I think it's a nice way to throw a real messed up speed bump in. Well, I mean, you have the exact case that you had with it when she cashed it in last night.
Exactly.
You had a new champion who is tired as hell at the end of her match, got smacked a couple of extra times afterwards. They cashed it in, rolled over, and it was. I mean, that's the play.
I think it's.
So
I don't think it's played out.
A complete fucking wrinkle twist to your ball sack when it happens. But
yeah,
right.
The Money in the Bank cash in was the thing I liked most about the show last night.
Okay.
So I can say I don't like the concept, but I like the curves and I like the wrinkles, so I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, it totally threw a wrinkle in, and like everybody that watched that show was like, what the fuck just happened?
Right.
What the fuck just happened?
And the
Holy
and the
shit.
fact that you saw the female cash in, and then you had the question of the male, which we'll get to that. We don't want to give all the good stuff away.
Right.
But as people come in, you guys are free to leave comments. We will take them one at a time, as we usually do, and try to get to everybody in good time. So let's just get to talk. One more thing. I loved the package in the beginning with Kid Rock. I'm not a huge Kid Rock fan, but the way, WWE is the king of the video package. We know this. They beat out any other sport with their video packaging. And the fact that they didn't go with some, modern day rock song as the theme song for SummerSlam, they found one of the oldest and coolest songs ever in Born to Be Wild.
They ran Steppenwolf, so
yeah,
and then pushed it throughout the show.
Oh yeah,
like
and the
Steppenwolf
choices
helped selling records.
Right.
Half of me wonders if that was a slide on AEW, because they do on Saturday. They do Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting.
Oh, that's right. I watched that show once,
and that was running against SummerSlam, which that's a topic for another day, maybe.
I want to wait and see the ratings, and we may talk about that Tuesday night on the main show. But
solid.
I love it. You could have had so many songs that reference the Motor City, Detroit Rock City, anything by Bob Seger. Thankfully, they stayed away from Ted Nugent. We could have done something with Alice Cooper, who just put out an album about Motor City something or other. So many places they could have gone. They chose one of the most classic tunes of all time.
Yeah, and I mean,
it worked.
They had several Kiss references, Detroit Rock City.
I heard Corey Graves throw that one out there a couple times.
Used a couple of those in, so they hit all the chimes on that one. They rang all the bells.
Yep, all us older folk were happy.
Yep.
Corey Graves is cool at the throwouts.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic.
He was like, "You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts." I was like, "Batman, 1989. That's awesome."
Thank you for that drop in, John Dust.
Oh yes, you're welcome.
Batman 1989.
Batman 1989. And first movie I saw in theaters.
Really? Nice. You're still a youngin'. You got time.
39.
Oh, wow. So, all right, let's get to some meat and potatoes here. We're going to talk about the actual show. Genius by WWE to put this as the first match on the main show itself. Logan Paul versus Ricochet. Easily my favorite, my first favorite match of the night. Easily. I thought they worked well. There was no wasted motion. It didn't look like, a couple of indie guys just looking for spots. They worked those spots in, but it kept your interest the entire time. There was no slowing down, which is going to be weird.
They spent all of that bullshit in the battle royal.
Well, that too. Yeah, I forgot about that.
All of that slow ass shit in the battle royal, and we'll get to that, and I'll talk about it. But I'm just throwing that in. No, that first match was good. It flowed. It did well.
You liked it?
I thought it was all right. I mean, I'm not a Logan Paul fan.
Nobody over the age of 30 is.
Yeah,
I tell you,
I thought the match itself was good.
He is fantastic for a celebrity. I will be a Logan Paul fan. What he's done compared to other celebrities is just insane.
Big Al says Logan is a wrestler. Jake is a fighter. Stop making stupid people famous.
Amen.
It's the wrestling business, Al, and for what it's worth,
they're all stupid, and they make them all famous.
Right, but the way they're building him, and John, you can help me with this because you've been watching a hell of a long time, and Herm pops in every now and again on the wrestling world. They're making him into the biggest heel the company has outside of Roman. And what's going to happen if he decides I'm going to do this full time, and they bring him in, your biggest baby faces come from the shittiest heels ever. And I don't mean shitty as in bad like Jon Moxley. I mean shitty as in dirtbags who will do anything to win, like the energy drink bottle guy, or last night the dude with the knuckles. They're making him a mega heel.
The dude, yeah. And the crowd made him a mega heel because they tried to push him babyface at the beginning. The crowd didn't have it, right?
Well, there's no way
So-
that crowd is going to accept that shit. You're going to walk in somebody with really no background, with no nothing, maybe a little bit of, athletic ability, and throw him that way. There's no way the crowd is going to suck that up.
A little bit of athletic ability, dude. He can hang with any star on the roster. I'm a fan just because of that. Like,
It's proving that he's putting in the work.
Yes, he's working hard, and that, I mean, of all the celebrities that have him or Bad Bunny, I mean, but he's probably the best I've seen.
I wouldn't. I'm not going to go against that. I'm gonna follow you on that one. That's 1,000% true.
Yeah, for a celebrity, I would say for sure.
And for me, again, going back to the complete healing out when he's on the side of the ring and his little lackey comes and puts the knuckles on him. Listening to Michael Cole tonight, I have not liked Michael Cole ever in the history of ever. Listening to him last night and part of this morning made me like him so much during this show.
I talked to you about this yesterday, didn't I? Because he doesn't have Vince yelling in his ear anymore. He's really good.
Yeah, it was about a week
Vince
ago
is
we
good.
had that discussion. Yeah.
Yeah. And so now you got to see it. Like, he's good. The dude was a war correspondent.
That's right, for
So
CNN.
Yes. Yep. So he's got the chops. But
Absolutely.
if Vince wants you to say something, then you have to say it.
Mm-hmm. When you talked about celebrities, you look back over the years, Mr. T, Stephen Amell was okay. Who was the other guy you brought up? Bad Bunny.
You had Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor. We were there. Herm.
You had LT.
You were
We were
there?
at that wrestling.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's awesome. I'm
we
jealous.
were at that one. Like, I could spit at the ring pretty much for that one.
Yeah, we were retardedly close.
Stupidly close. It was disgusting. And we were literally like one row away from taking home our own chairs.
Philip,
That was the first year
for a second.
that was the first year they actually did that.
That's
That
right.
year
They didn't do it.
was the first year with take home chairs, and we
Mhm.
were like just this side of the fucking barrier.
Yep. If we were one row closer. You do like you do at the races. You wait for someone to leave, switch your seat.
Yeah, for real.
They're
Like,
not coming back.
there's ain't nobody been sitting down in that section for a while. We moving.
So,
Walk back in.
end result, Logan Paul goes over, wins against Ricochet. Not sure that it's the best idea ever to take a full-time guy and have him do the job for Logan Paul. However, it's building Logan Paul's worth in the eyes of the people.
My issue, and I would agree with that. I would agree with that real quick. Here's my issue was that, first of all, but the thing with Logan Paul is that, and Jake as well, is that as soon as they're kind of like my oldest kid. As soon as anything gets a little fucking difficult, they stop that and they go on to something new and cool. So I'm waiting to see the difficult side of it actually show up for Jake Paul in this and the Logan Paul thing. Because I find they both have a tendency to like just stop. If anything gets too rough, they just reinvent themselves as something new.
Well, let me ask Jonathan this question because he follows this a lot closer than we do nowadays. Jonathan, didn't Logan Paul get hurt over the last year and had to take a bunch of time to heal back up?
Yeah, he got injured, but he wasn't out for all that long. It was one of those quick recoveries. He was back in a couple months.
Okay, a couple months. A couple months is still a good recovery time.
Son of a gun. Yeah, he was a tough son of a gun. I have to say, I hate the finish. I hated the brass knuckles finish.
And the Ricochet fight.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was. I thought it was a good fight. I just thought it should have gone the other way. Just within that.
I'm going to agree with both of you, but I'm going to put it to you in, I call it Herm terms. You have spent all day smoking this beautiful brisket. You slice that sumbitch open. It has the right amount of crust. It's beautiful and pink on the inside.
And then I just
And
beat it with a fucking meat mallet into shredded
No.
shit.
Worse, you
threw
slather
sauce on it.
you slather it with ketchup.
Oh,
Yeah,
And that's what the
how
finish
it was.
that
The match was
that
great.
match.
Rolling was fucking beautiful. It was built. There was layers of flavor that they built on that match, back and forth layers. It was nice. It really was nice. And I'm
Then
not
you went with a
Logan Paul
shitty
fan.
70s heel
And then
finish.
and then they put Kraft fucking barbecue sauce on it, and fuck, it's kind of
I don't-
exactly how I felt.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I would go that far. I mean, that's pretty atrocious. I mean, that's sinful. Yeah.
Okay, let me stop you there, youngin, because that was the easiest, most cop out finish of the 70s and early 80s was the thing in the
Absolutely.
hand.
And early 90s.
Yeah,
Oh, he's
get
going
the-
into his trucks. He's going. Oh.
Jerry
I just-
friggin' Lawler.
Can I just throw this out there as
Go
somebody
ahead.
who really hasn't watched an event like this since probably like 98, 99.
Wow.
I missed
Wow.
I missed Bobby Heenan last night.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I the guys that are doing it, I don't know who the guy was. He's the color guy. He was okay. He was all right. But I got to be honest, as an old time fan, I missed not having Bobby's zingers in there through a SummerSlam and through a major event.
Understood. Completely understood. Now we're going to go from a good match to another good match. And as someone who has watched this stuff since the late 70s, I was just talking with Terry a little while ago, and we were discussing SummerSlam a little bit. And I said, she says, what'd you think of Cody versus Brock? Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar, the rubber match. Number 3, I said, I have never felt physical pain or illness watching a match until I watched this one.
Really?
In one
Dude,
of
just
the
watching
in the
him
first
snap-
10 minutes.
Just watching
when
him
he-
snap Cody for fucking 15.
Oh, you mean because he beat the shit out of him?
No.
man.
Picture this in your head. It's about 10 minutes in. He does the release German. Cody hits his back. His feet fold
Yes.
almost to his own head,
Yes.
and my whole spine went, ugh.
Yeah.
I got physically, I'm like, and I know it's all part of the show, and he's telling him, stay down. I'm like, yeah, please stay down.
There was one in the Ricochet Logan Paul match where he went over and when he flipped him, Ricochet completely over rotated, and you saw the way his knees hit.
Yes.
His legs hit underneath him. I was like, oh, that hurt. He totally, and there was the same thing in that Brock match. There was a couple of those where a couple of the maneuvers were a little intense and slightly either underdone or overdone. And you could tell there was a couple of they beat themselves up, both of them, with that match.
Was that the one where the wrestler just whacked the back of their head? I don't remember which one it was, but it could have been that one.
Well, in
German
the
suplex.
Cody match, he does the F5 outside the ring, and it looked like Cody didn't get his hands up, and he got on the table, and his forehead smacked right against the table. And again, I got a concussion watching it.
Yeah, like they definitely sacrificed themselves for that match.
But all in all, told a great story. And again, to me, it comes back to telling a great story. Sometimes it's a slow build. Sometimes it's right out of the box, action, not overdone, but like Logan Paul and Ricochet, straight out of the box action, never a dull moment. This match, there was a build, but never a dull moment, lots of action, and it told the story they needed to tell. David and Goliath, Cody's never going to give up. Brock will try to tear the arm off of everybody in front of him and beat them with their own arm.
I love that.
And it was awesome. And then when he hits the crossroads and he rolls through it like Eddie Guerrero, I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. And he hits it again.
Right.
And he rolls through.
And he goes to the well 3 times and hits him every time.
And finally
he's done that. He does that for his tough opponents. It's the
trio.
The trifecta. Yeah.
There you go. We can't call it the Three Amigos because he's a Texas guy. Well, we could, don't want to leave the Texicans out.
But yeah,
there's your Bobby Heenan zinger for you. The Texicans.
Can you guys hear that fan?
I'm trying to remember. There was one in the main event we'll talk about
No,
because
I
that
mean-
person
I
was
mean
pissing
the
me off.
fan.
Oh, on the show, in the show.
Yeah. Okay. I guess you guys are good.
All right. We're-
Yeah. So I'm wondering where they're gonna go from this with Cody and Brock. Are they pushing him to face Roman?
Well,
Are they pushing him to do something else? Because he's got to end up in the world title picture eventually.
I think personally, if he doesn't get his big rematch at Mania in Philly, then they're doing it all wrong. Absolutely 100% doing it all wrong.
That's what I hope. That's what I hope they do. But that means we're going to have Roman for a good while, and people are getting sick of it. I'm not. We'll talk about that later.
I'm feeling Lucy. I acknowledge my tribal chief. We'll talk. We'll talk
Anyway.
about that as we get forward. My phone keeps turning itself off, so I get back to the list. I didn't check out necessarily during the Battle Royal. I hadn't heard anything about it. They announced it. Oh, next is the Battle Royal. I'm like, well, I got to find something to do. And then obviously they announced AJ Styles, LA Knight. Omos gets the big push at the last. Oh, you can't have you can't announce the Sting unless you announce the winner.
It was the same. It was the same 73. It was the same 73 guys trying to push Paul White or trying to push Andre out. It was that same. Oh, we all work together just to get this one out. It's a trope. You know what I mean? We knew it was coming. They've got to have one big dude to make that happen. It was the Nigerian guy.
But they have to do that because
no, I know, and that's the thing. Like it's the corny. It's like the guy at the circus or the fair that runs the same shtick in every town because it's the shtick that gets the fucking people to spend their money to play the games.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with him being new or exciting. It's what works, and it's the same thing in every one of those matches that works. Everybody loves that whole we hate each other, but for 4.5 seconds we're all on the same team to get this asshole out. So
it makes good sense to me, even though it's a trope. But
absolutely.
Omos has come a long way since he first
Nigeria's really far.
He's gotten a lot better. So that's good. And this was LA Knight's night.
He's been on the come up for quite a while.
Crowd has been, I'd say 4 or 5 weeks ago, they just started, maybe longer than that, but it hasn't been too long. They just started cheering him. So now we have another case of an organic new superstar coming on the scene.
I love those. I got to be honest. I don't know a lot about LA Knight, but I love organics. I love when the fans decide to tell Vince how he's going to run his fucking show. Is basically what it's always been. They put somebody out, and all of a sudden the fans take a turn and love somebody, and the people upstairs in the office have no choice but to run that if they want their shit to run well. And
right, you're selling the most shirts. You're getting the biggest pop. Yeah,
it gives me hope in the democratic governmental system in general. Just there's still hope that the people can make a fucking choice.
This is not a politics show. We'll save that for another day.
It's not, but I love that slight edge. We can decide from time to time where we want it to go.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But Vince isn't calling the shots so much anymore, so that's good.
No, it's not. I mean, it didn't run like an Earl Scheib show.
He's lost his touch.
Oh, he doesn't want to deal with that anymore. Vince is old. He just wants to collect his check and do what he does. That's
he wants to have creative feedback, and he gets it. He's earned it. I mean, it's still good, even though he's doing that stuff. I'm happy with the way the product's going. It's a lot better than it was 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Since Triple H took over.
I'm gonna let John and Herm take the entirety of this one because this was 7 minutes and 30 seconds of my life I'll never get back, and it had no business being on this show. It looked as phony as a football bat. to quote Jim Cornette.
Yep.
Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey in an MMA
Oh,
rules match. Get the out of here with that crap.
This pissed me off to no fucking end.
Was it just because it was MMA?
No. I completely respect MMA. Here's my issue. My issue was it was a WWE match with MMA rules.
Right, exactly. That's what I
Right.
meant. Yeah. You shouldn't be trying to do that.
No,
in
not at all.
wrestling.
Not that at all. It's because my issue is that MMA is not scripted. Wrestling has a forecasted outcome that can change depending on the situation and injuries and what people, how they decide they're going to run their fucking script, but MMA does not. And I felt that Ronda running the telegraphed, showcased MMA style fight only basically proved and showed the rest of the world that Ronda really isn't able to play that game anymore. That she's pretty much done as an MMA fighter and a true fighter, and now can only resort to some makeup, a couple of angles, and and a script. And I think that for me, as a person who appreciates MMA, it was horrible for both organizations.
And they're in bed together now with the whole Endeavor.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like, I totally would have appreciated a full-on fucking MMA match in a ring but
yeah, like a legit match, like
yes,
not
sir.
scripted.
Yes, sir. Like, I know it's not going to be in a cage, but do it in the same ring, but a legit fucking MMA match. MMA rules, let's play MMA ball. All right,
what I
we're not
thought,
playing.
maybe.
We're not playing baseball if we're with the Savannah Bananas. We're not playing baseball. We're playing banana ball. They built us a baseball game last night, and they gave us banana ball.
I was wondering if they would go the real route for this. I was wondering.
Oh, I'm like, oh my god, they're just going to beat the living shit out of each other. It's gonna be beautiful.
Like,
and then there's like that first time they came around with the kick, and I saw that first roundhouse kick catch Ronda. I was like, fuck this, all of this. Fuck you, you're cool, fuck you, and I'm out. I was so pissed. As soon as I was like, fuck. My fucking head went down. I was the only person in the house. I'm complaining to the dogs. What the fuck is this shit? Just
This is why we need to watch a show live. It'd be fun.
I was like, this is just, but yeah, it was. I felt it did no justice, other than a sideshow freak show for either organization.
Well, word on the street is this is what the two of them wanted to do.
They should both be fired immediately for wanting that.
Because it's first of all, it requires way less training to actually fight that match, because the script like lessens a lot of the blows, and also it also doesn't require a real fight. So they're actually probably not as neither one of them looked beat up at the end of that fight. Have you seen Ronda at the end of a fucking MMA fight before? She looks like she got hit with a fucking brick.
Wow, yeah, like
they all do. And after this one, they were all just pretty. We just had smeared reverse raccoon makeup going on.
And that's what took me out immediately. And I'll tell you this now, and I want to get John's opinion next. The fact that they both came out wearing the goofy ass eye makeup. You don't see that in MMA because that's not an MMA thing. If you're having an MMA fight, I can go back to, I don't know how many WrestleManias ago when they had the Big Show, and was it Akibono? Who was the sumo guy? Was it Akibono?
Maybe. Yeah,
but they did it honest. They both came out in the Mawashi Yokozuna diaper thing, barefooted. They're doing their thing, and they made the best out of it to make it look like a legitimate sumo match. This looked like two people in Hollywood trying to pretend to do MMA.
Oh, that's what they were doing.
Like MMA, it was like watching MMA theater.
They were doing WWE MMA. That's what they were
There's
doing.
no such thing. Stop
There's
it.
no such thing.
Well, no, but there is because
That's
it
like
just
saying
happened.
that's
And
like
it's
saying there's
disgusting.
chicken. It's like saying it's fuck that. It was turkey bacon. Okay, it was turkey bacon. That's what they made yesterday.
That's
Turkey
good.
bacon.
That's turkey bacon.
It wanted to be real bacon, but it's not.
I always have high hopes for Ronda because I remember when she came on the scene, I was like, man, she's really good when she first came on, and she's super pretty. And I kind of
when she first came into MMA.
No. When she first came into WWE,
Well, she still kind of held it together and kept them separate. She stopped doing one and did another, and then went back and did some more MMA. And now it's fusion.
So would you have liked it better if it were just a straight wrestling match?
I would have yes, I would have
preferred that. Okay.
And I'll revert to this. I'm a chef, and Chris will tell you that I'm a purist. Okay, some of the best dishes you'll ever eat on the planet have 5 ingredients. They're nice, they're simple, they're done elegantly. Okay, I would have appreciated a full-on women's wrestling match, special rules. Figure out what the fuck the rules are, throw them down, and run at that, or a legitimate we are punching people to death match. Either one of those two, I think, would have been spot on. I think the mixing of the two dirtied it and kind of made neither one. It was a hybrid. It was like a mule.
Yeah.
It's a horse and a donkey. And yeah, you made a mule, but that mule is never ever going to able to make more mules. And
the crowd was not into it.
No, they weren't. They were dead.
It sounded like a Japanese wrestling match in there during that fight. Okay, all right. It was like going and watching a Japanese boxing match. It's like, what are you doing? It's quiet enough to fucking read in here. That's what it was. That's what it was.
Yes, except it wasn't.
A local book club showed up. It was peaceful.
Except it wasn't out of respect. It was out of suck.
Yeah, it was completely. It was almost like, what is this bullshit? Disbelief. They literally were like, nah, fuck that. And everybody went to go get a beer.
This match is a prime example of when you order MMA on Wish. There's no better way to put it.
The WWE off of Team U is right what we got last night in that fight. Yeah.
If there was a way, I don't do the Meltzer star system. I give a match a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If there was a way to have, I hate Meltzer, but if there was a way that this could get like 10 thumbs down, I'd give them
one on each end.
I'd give it 2 thumbs down, not 10 thumbs down. I thought it was a missed opportunity. They could have done it for real. I would have liked to see they could have done it for real because they could have handled it.
Well, that was my thing, is that both organizations are in bed together. It's not like they're like, oh, we're gonna do something that we don't have any business doing. Literally, they could have made a fucking phone call and been like, yo, we're gonna throw one.
Bring me a cage.
Right, we're gonna throw one fucked up MMA match into the middle of Summerslam. Get your people on that shit. Call me back. That's literally all it took. But they didn't go that route. They could have promoted both equally with better fighting with whichever way they went.
Okay, one thing I do like that they did here though is give the rub to Shayna.
Yeah.
I think it's
deserved. Well deserved too.
It's time for her to be the monster that she was a couple years ago. And I hear it was Ronda's maybe her last match, is the rumor going around.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it, considering how horrible this was and the farce that it was for fighting or wrestling. I would
really hated this. Yeah, I didn't like it either, but I didn't hate it as much as most people did. And most people did hate it for sure.
You are a much more forgiving person than most people.
That's because it's Ronda Rousey.
I love Ronda to death. I call her my future ex-wife, but this makes me want to get a divorce.
Every movie she's done where she's the bad guy, I root for her when in every fight scene. I'm not gonna lie, all right? But
that's the other thing. Who was the baby face in this match?
There wasn't one because yes, Shayna
Ronda
was
was
the
your
one that.
baby face.
Well,
Ronda
wait a
was
minute.
the baby face in that match.
Shayna turned on Rousey, but then Rousey a couple weeks later punked her out, and then they punk each other out. This is heel versus heel. This is like
It seems like in the video package, Shayna was playing the babyface in the video package,
I agree.
and
Yeah, well,
I
that's-
think that hurt it too. You
I
don't know
felt that's
who
how they pushed it. She's her sparring partner. She's fighting her mentor. They used all of those. I felt that the announcers and that's how they pushed that.
And you know why they did that? It's because the crowd fucking hates Ronda. That's why they switched it.
Right.
I think that's why they switched it. And I don't know.
Well, I think you've got fans that totally are in basically the same boat that I am. They like Ronda as a fighter. All right. They like Ronda as a wrestler. They don't like Ronda or whatever that the Rock and Wrestling match that they had yesterday. The fans don't appreciate that.
I don't think they like
They
Ronda.
either want real or they want fake.
What did I do?
Oh no,
That's
for her.
Fuck my picks.
Fuck your picks.
Yeah, I mean, I felt that was kind of it, and the whole crowd was that way. Like they either wanted real or they wanted real fake.
Yeah.
And what you got was fake
pick
real.
one or the other. I agree. I
You
never
got
thought
fake
about that
real,
before.
which
They
That
got
was
real
good, though.
garbage.
It wasn't great. Probably
All
the
right.
worst. Probably the worst match of the night, I would say.
Yes, easily, but not the
Yeah.
worst finish. We're getting to that one in a couple of matches away.
Yeah.
But Gunther goes over and beats Drew McIntyre
Oh
to
my
retain
God! What a
the
match!
Intercontinental
right.
Championship.
He's got
I
what?
forgot
He's got
about
like
this
what,
match.
43
This
days
was my
and
favorite
he
match.
catches the honky tonk man.
Yep. Now I got two things about this match. One, all right, three. Sorry. One,
Okay.
I always like watching Gunther.
Yeah.
Dude is incredible. He's not the flashiest. He's not, the biggest or the strongest, but dude is
No.
believable.
He's just no
I'm all-
nonsense.
Right. Second, I'm a
Yeah.
huge fan of Drew McIntyre. I love his work. He's a taller, bigger, beefier guy who moves around that ring like a lightweight, and it shows. But everything he does has impact, much like a Brock Lesnar, much like Omos has. When he hits you, it looks like you're going to die.
Mhm.
And then I did not see this finish coming. Drew McIntyre is one of the people that people love him no matter what. You could put him in there with a mop and they're going to cheer wildly for whatever he does. So I did not see Gunther winning this match, although watching the match, you see, I see what they're building with Gunther. Like Herm mentioned, he just recently eclipsed the Honky Tonk Man for the longest IC reign of all time. Well,
Did
that's great.
he win? Is that
Gunther won.
official?
Yes.
No. I mean, did he surpass the reign? I had
No,
heard
not yet.
that.
He's got like he's
Oh.
just short of it.
Yep.
Yeah,
he's got the
he's
longest.
coming up.
It's like 23. He needs 23 more days. Or
Yeah, he's coming up on it. And
You're right. I'm looking at it right now. Give me a second.
Oh, you know who he reminded me of? Chris, who was the guy that used to come out with the manager from England? Who was the wrestler? It was a bigger guy, short, blondish hair.
You're either talking about Lord Steven Regal or
there it is. It was like
yeah.
he had the whole Regal thing going on. Gunther
Regal
just
wasn't
came out.
blonde. What are you talking about? He was
He was
blonde.
dirty blonde
He's
back
kind
in
of
the
dirty blonde
90s.
and short, but Gunther just kind of struck me as the 2004 version of Steven Regal.
Maybe,
Okay.
yeah.
Like they literally took his whole shtick, added two dudes in tracksuits or whatever those were, and changed his color. But I thought it was very reminiscent of a Steven Regal using that shtick in a new era.
Okay,
Could
to
be,
answer your
could be.
question, just before this pay-per-view a week ago, Gunther surpassed Randy Savage to become the third longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in history. He does have about I'm going to find out how many days.
It's like somewhere between 25 and 40. It's not long at all. It's got it like in a month. He's got it pretty much.
Right.
They'll probably have him break it. I would imagine.
That would be great.
Yeah, I don't see him losing to anybody between now and like wrestle, or at least
there's nothing major to no. You'd have to run that. You'd have to run that at a more major event.
Yeah. I don't like the girly girls that he runs around with, those skinny-legged English dudes or whoever they are.
That's an act from NXT.
Oh yeah, Imperium.
Yeah.
But look at them next to Gunther, and Gunther's this big beefy guy, and then you have these dudes with legs you would find in a bucket of chicken. It's terrible.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that either. But yeah, you make a good point.
It's like when Cody Rhodes first debuted and his legs were this big.
They're really good wrestlers, though. So
they are. They put on a show.
They balance it out. But yeah, I thought. I mean, what a hard-hitting freaking match that was. That might have been my favorite.
I think Corey Graves said it best. He goes, when Gunther threw that chop at Drew McIntyre, the first row hurt.
Right.
Corey Graves is great. I love Corey Graves. I don't understand the hate for Corey Graves. I think he's fantastic.
I like him a lot.
Yep.
He's not Bobby Heenan, but who is?
Nobody's going to be Bobby Heenan ever again.
But this was another one that I'll put on the very short list of awesome matches, which right now are the opener, Logan Paul and Ricochet, Cody and Brock. This would be on the awesome matches. This would be number 3. I loved it. I hope everybody out there loved it.
What was number 1 for you?
Oh, easily Cody and Brock was Logan Paul and Ricochet was number 1 for me. Cody and Brock second. And then this one. Hey, there's our music.
All right.
I would agree with you.
I've been playing with things behind the scenes.
Understood. Don't play with it too long. You'll go blind.
That's right. That's mine, and I can wash it as much as I want.
That's right. So now I was looking forward to this match, and we're gonna let John run with this first. Seth freaking Rollins, the dumbest name ever.
I just wish they ditched the freaking.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And if the people could shut up for 30 seconds after the music stops, let it go. It's not fucking funny anymore.
I don't think it's a matter of being funny. I think it's a matter of being the same reason they sing Cody Rhodes' song.
Yeah, but they stop after a while. They got him in the ring. He took off his stupid ass jacket, and then for 35 to 40 seconds,
he's definitely using that and that crowd involvement as a statement of power when he enters the ring. It's just, what I mean?
It works for his character.
Oh, absolutely. And when
you got the people behind you, but he's
standing there in the middle of the ring like Jesus on a fucking cross. If you miss the fucking symbolism in that, I'm sorry, but
I'm okay, Chris. I'm okay. It's fine.
That's what I thought. I saw the vein pop out of your head.
Like literally, I was like, "Can you?"
I love it.
Like, what is he? Does he think he's Jesus Christ? Because he looks like Christ on the cross. Like
he does kind of look.
I'm like, what? I'm like, somebody's pulling some real symbolism into the opener on this.
Well, what did they call him a couple years ago? The Monday Night Messiah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, they did.
So I'm like, he's literally, it's like Easter Sunday in the middle of the fucking ring. What's going on?
I don't like the character. I like Seth Rollins. He's a hell of a performer. I don't like the outfit. I don't like the character. I don't like the singing. There's not a lot to like until the bell rings, and then he is just on fire every freaking time.
So Seth Rollins was another wrestler that the crowd turned. He was originally a heel in this character. So
yeah.
If the crowd likes it, I can't argue with it. It's good business.
Absolutely.
They like him. I kind of overlook it because I know that when he gets in the ring, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be really solid.
Yep.
The singing, I don't know if I care about the singing. Why shouldn't you milk what's getting you over? I mean, yeah, if you're a character, you're going to be all over that.
Yeah, I mean, if
Right?
you're gonna take a lesson out of Vince's book, milk everything till it's fucking dry, and then throw it away and get a new cow.
That's fine. I think he should
You
milk
know?
it as long as he can.
I understand it. I
As
get it.
long as they know when to stop, that's the question. Once the crowd dies down, if the crowd's dying down, they need to change gears. Don't try to milk the bottom of a barrel so where you get all the cottage cheese.
No, I mean, you had 59,194 people hollering that shit last night, and for in that large of a crowd, in a stadium like that, for the show, once again, production value. You can't, if you want to portray that to the people at home, that's it, man. I mean, it's got to be the same similar feeling as, sitting as, Freddie Mercury playing Wembley, and literally he doesn't have to perform. They just sing his music for him.
Yeah,
So
I mean, if the crowd's into it,
that
what can you do?
connection is the thing.
Like,
So he's
yeah.
got it.
Okay. If I can, one
Yeah.
of the things that I hate about, I go to concerts a lot, is when they say, okay, fill in the name of the town, it's your turn.
Yeah,
Like,
the
I
cheap
didn't pay
pop.
$120 freaking dollars to sing your
No,
song.
I don't like that either. If you want to throw the mic out and just stop here and there and give us a
Right.
taste of that's great.
When John Bon Jovi does this and the crowd says "Living on a Prayer," he's getting the next line. It's that simple. That's what he does.
Right,
But-
like Freddie never said, "I want you to repeat and sing back." Freddie
No, he
came
just
out
said "Day-o" and the whole.
and that's it, and it went off. And as soon as
Seth never asked them to sing along. In fact, I was surprised when they started singing along because I was like, wait, I thought he was supposed to be a heel. And sure enough, the crowd turned him.
The
So
crowd
I mean,
turned him.
I can't get too upset about that.
Fair enough.
So yeah.
the crowd.
But yeah, another solid match. Anything that Seth is involved in is going to be good. Now you put Seth and Balor together, even better. Here's where things go a little sideways for me.
With the Money in the Bank thing.
First you have Dominic Mysterio and my future ex-wife Rhea Ripley make their way to ringside in the heat of the match. I get that. Lots. And then you have Damian come out with his briefcase, and they've been milking that for a couple weeks. Will he? Won't he? Is he going to go after Seth? Is he going to go after Finn? And the fact that he wants, here, take my briefcase and smack him over the head. No, I don't want to do that, or however he talks.
Yeah, I felt that was done literally just.
You are the heel faction on Monday night. Do the heel thing. Hit him with the case.
Smash him in the face. Do your thing.
And if he kicks out, great. More intrigue to the match. But this was pap. That whole ending screwed it up for me.
I thought that Balor was going to go over in this match.
As did I.
I thought he was going to win. I thought they were going to build some sort of thing with Priest and the Judgment Day and some sort of splintering. And Rhea Ripley getting out on her own. Like, she needs to be on her own.
She needs to be.
I think the Judgment Day is great, but I think a world champion needs to be out on their own.
She needs to be at 6 Oxford Drive, Norwich, Connecticut. That's where she needs to be.
Okay. All right.
She's so good. And
she is in the ring. She's easy on the eyes. Yes, the whole goth thing kind of throws it off, but she's still one of the best looking women there. And she can work her ass off.
I saw a picture of her with nothing on. I was like, damn.
Yeah, just no makeup. She's just a gorgeous young lady.
Right. So we can talk about this a little bit, but you were talking about the hottest heel in the business. Dominic Mysterio, man. He's been tearing it up. He's been getting reactions like no other.
All right, I'm gonna agree with you partially, but please continue.
I don't think it's go away heat. I think it's legitimate. I hate you. You're terrible. He gets
it's X-Pac heat.
What?
It's X-Pac heat.
No. That's go away heat.
No, stop. People loved watching X-Pac get in there and do his thing, but as soon as he grabbed a microphone and did his shenanigans, nobody liked him. It was like you're overacting. You're the one kid in this group, the clique, that or in DX where you're being the dumbest of all of them. This is why the people hate you. Be as cool as them. Take a page out of their book.
I think Dominic is doing fine with what he's doing.
I think the crowd loves fucking with him. I honestly do.
Huh?
I think the crowd loves screwing with him when he picks up a microphone. What I wanted to, and they all just rain the booze on him, and he acts all flustered. Let me talk. What I was gonna say. Boo.
It's great. It's great. I think it works, and he's a champion now. Did you catch that?
Yeah, North American champion.
Yeah,
from NXT.
But
His heat right now reminds me of Vicky Guerrero. Whenever Vicky Guerrero picked up a microphone, the people lost their shit.
I don't think that was X-Pac heat. I just think that was just, we hate you. Like, not because of the way you act, just because you're bad.
No, it's not because he's not good on a mic and they can fuck with him. They literally just don't like him.
Right, exactly.
But they loved him a year ago until the whole thing went down with Ray.
He's gotten so much better in his wrestling. He's gotten better on his mic skills. I wasn't expecting him to be this good. And I was like, wow, the crowd hates him. That's great. But he's not on this show, so I mean,
no, he was a part of the match, though. You had to bring it up.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I hate it. The whole thing with Judgment Day ruined the finish for me. Had it just been Rollins with the stomp, 1, 2, 3, we get out of there and we say, wow, what a fantastic match, instead of going, wow, that was the dumbest thing I ever saw.
Yeah, I think Finn should have gone over.
To be honest, they're both incredible. I like Finn's character better than I like the Joker Rollins.
Yeah, that's exactly what he is too. Good point. Joker Rollins. Yep.
But if he wins, and I mean, obviously in the world of wrestling, no one really wins anything. But if he wins that match, in the eyes of the people, curb stomp, pin, out the door, without all the extra, it's a better finish.
Nice, clean finish.
Yes.
It is a better finish. I really would have loved to see Balor go over. 7 years, getting screwed out of his first title reign because of injury, making a big deal. He had 7 markered in on his shoulder.
Yep.
I would have.
Yeah, I mean, they threw some nice ties in. Like, he did the exact same move with Rollins's neck and head up against the barrier. That laid him out 7 years ago.
No, that was Finn.
Yeah, he got Finn with
Rollins had the knee surgeries. Finn had the
shoulder labrum.
No. I know that, but in that match, all right.
Yeah. Because I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Finn took the exact same move that put him out 7 years ago, and same spot, the whole 9. It looked, you know what I mean? It's like they completely recreated the moment.
But he did it to Rollins. Didn't Finn do it to Rollins though?
In the buckle, yes. On the barrier, no.
On the barrier, okay. So he did. Okay, all right. But yeah, that was a fun match.
Yeah, it was. But the finish just terrible.
Yeah, I mean, some great timing, some great 2.9 counts on that, 2.8 counts, really nice and tight.
Right.
Yeah, then it should have just been a stomp, a rollover, and done.
Instead, the peanut gallery comes out.
Yeah.
I love Judgment Day.
I feel like I'm going to reserve judgment on this depending on where they go with it. I think we need to see where it goes before, that was a weird way to end it, but maybe
how it maths out. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they can. I mean, because Triple H is doing, we're planning WrestleMania backwards now. Like back to the way it used to be. So
book the match now and write it backwards. How are we going to get there?
Right. You book the match and then we'll figure out the story. And we'll just write the story week to week as we need it to develop.
Mm-hmm.
So again, great match. I dislike the finish only because it's, yes, it's setting up stories. What's the deal with Priest and Balor? Is Seth and Finn gonna tie up again? What's the deal? When is Rhea coming to my house? Why does Dom have a mullet in 2023? So many questions need to be answered Monday night live on USA.
Yeah, and I'll be watching.
So will I. I always watch after I
watching.
watch a pay-per-view. I'll watch the
I'm gonna
Raw
get you
after.
back into it. We're gonna get back into it. You wait
I'm gonna-
and see. Wait and see.
I'm gonna drive to your hometown and pee in your front lawn. All right. So now,
All right.
earlier I mentioned there are great performers, there are really good performers, there are top-notch performers, and there are ones that I don't care if they offered me $1 million and cured cancer, I'm never going to like. One of them is Bianca Belair. Hate Bianca Belair. She's the EST. She's the dumbest. She's the boringest. She is the lamest wrestler. And I don't care wherever you are, Jordan, from the Speedway Review. I don't care. I've been telling you this for 2 years. Bianca Belair sucks more than anything has ever sucked before. She's garbage.
She's whipping around. She's got like an entire horse's tail dyed blonde,
So
and macrameed into her own hair.
so
All right, and she's
Hold
swinging
on.
this thing around, and it's breaking down. All right, and it looks like she's got just climbed out of bed head, and she's like, "What? Cut that shit off. Let's do something real here. Stop that poor horse. That poor horse, and no respect."
Well, the horse's face was one of her opponents, Charlotte Flair,
Ooh.
and then I love Asuka to death. So there was
Mini
Asuka.
Muda?
Love Mini Muda.
I thought Mini Muda was
like-
all right.
Go ahead, John.
I like Bianca minus the hair. I think the hair is ridiculous. But I like her strength. Yeah, I think the hair is ridiculous.
I'm gonna buy her. I'm gonna buy her one of those
Dude,
clip-on
that's my
braids.
fucking Halloween costume.
Are you going as Bianca for Halloween?
Fucking Christ.
So
I
you
just
do?
gotta buy
Yeah,
a whole
but with Herm, he's going as Bianca no hair.
Bianca no hair. It'll just be like that off the
Hey.
top.
Braid on your beard.
People like him and I were just wishing for hair, period. I mean, it just doesn't matter.
I shave my head. Let's make that clear. I do this
Yeah.
on
I don't.
No,
I cut it short.
his
my
hair.
man's got the
he's
whole
not
Ed
losing his
Asner
hair.
thing.
It's just migrating. He has a patch of hair like this in the middle of his back.
You could do a transplant, maybe, to some of these people, to their head.
Maybe. John, I got to give you the lead on this one because this to me was a throwaway match. I'm not a fan of 3-person matches at all. Even though all 3 of them are ridiculously talented. Well, 2 of them are ridiculously talented. The other one's Bianca Belair. And why they keep giving her the spotlight? Why? I don't get it. I'm just going to ruin it for everybody. Bianca wins the match. John's going to tell you about it.
What if she ditched the hair twirl and cut her hair and didn't twirl it anymore?
Okay,
Do you like her better?
That's partially a good question. Ditch the hair and the twirl. Ditch the stupid shiny sticker like in the 80s outfit. In the ring,
Yeah, like
solid.
she's a WWF superstar. Like,
Yeah,
shouldn't she
okay,
be
so
able
she's
to
solid in the
afford,
ring,
like,
so we
real
agree
clothes
with that.
instead of, like duct taping tinfoil to herself?
Oh, she's absolutely solid in the ring and crazy strong too.
I don't
like she-
doubt. I'm not saying against that. I'm saying I can't. The whole presentation, much like Seth Rollins, you have a solid performer, and it's like I'm going to throw everything against the wall and see what sticks. This is like Diamond Dallas Page in 1994. I'm going to put every gimmick on until I find one that hits.
And Diamond Dallas Page, that was just after I start watching. Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Here, Dallas, try this week. No, try
Yeah,
this.
so
Okay, that didn't work. Try this.
so I would have had Asuka go over here. I would have had her. Who do you think should have beaten Asuka, though? Is the question.
I would have done here in this match. I wouldn't have Bianca go over. Either Charlotte Flair or Asuka. Doesn't matter who.
Charlotte's haven't had it enough. She's been crammed down our throats too much.
Seems like every time she goes away, she comes back with a new face. It's starting to drive me crazy. That was a beautiful, beautiful young woman, until she found plastic surgery.
You got these duck lip things that everybody
Mhm.
has. It's like, you know,
Her and Dana Brooke have the same doctor.
Hey, she's following. She's just doing what her dad does.
Yeah, pretty much. But look,
her
anybody
dad didn't do. Did he do plastic surgery?
Oh my
Later
God,
on.
he's had
Oh,
so
yeah.
much plastic
Did he?
surgery. If you ever get a
Okay,
chance, I don't know if you watched it. Watch the Ric Flair Woo
That was a
documentary.
great documentary.
And you look
I
at him and
did
you're
see
like,
that.
huh? Did you see it?
Yeah, it was great.
And if you look at him and you're like, my God, he looks like hell, and he's had work done. How does that
Right.
even work?
Dude,
He's
Gene
just really-
Simmons,
I
Gene
mean-
Simmons' wife laughs at his plastic surgery.
I mean,
Yeah, for real.
think
And
about-
she's literally
think
just
about-
made out of Barbie dolls.
dude almost died, man. I mean,
Oh, I know. No. We
Yeah.
watched the whole thing, but like, how do you have that much work done and look beat up and beat to hell at the same time? Like,
because he's
imagine
like
what he'd look
74.
like without all the corrective and fucking cleaning him up surgery.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when you get this corrective surgery, it's all gonna look like shit when you get older.
Well, that's the thing.
Mhm.
At some point, you can't correct
Right?
it, and you're stuck with whatever
Yeah.
they screwed up, and now that's gonna.
Unbelievable. Anyway, that match, it was pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. Again,
Yeah, and I would have liked Asuka to go over again.
sure, but I wouldn't have changed a damn thing after 20 minutes and 45 seconds of this match with Bianca Belair winning. Easy for me to say. How's the weather in Babylon, Chris? Io Sky cashes in her Money in the Bank and in 8 seconds takes Bianca Bad Hair to
Not
the
gonna
woodshed.
lie. Cute little Japanese girl with thick thighs. I was like,
It
ooh.
First things
Good.
first, cute little Japanese girl with cute little, depending on what day it is, blonde or black or whatever. I like Dakota, but anytime I get to see Bailey's back end is a good day.
I like Bailey. I like her
Bailey
better as
too.
I liked her better as a baby face, even though she makes a great heel. I just loved her innocent little, oh, this is somebody I'd like to get with if I knew her.
That the girl that they brought out at the end with in the tight leather pants.
Yes.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
It was the pants, bro.
Yeah. So I think this was a good move because I don't think fans wanted to see Bianca she just had the title and she had a really long run.
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't need another run. So I think this was a good call for them to make. Give Io a shot.
Even if Asuka had gone over, now you have the two Japanese girls who have worked with each other forever. And
that would be a great match.
What you could have done, though, instead of 8 seconds, the only thing I would have changed was give them a few minutes.
Yeah.
And let them run, because those two...
I don't think we've seen everything Io can do either.
No.
Like
not at all.
She does usually gets in the way, hits the moonsault and wins, but we haven't seen her really go. I'm looking forward to seeing her go because I don't think they would have given her the title if they didn't think that she could go. So I'm looking forward to seeing her doing some more matches. And of course, this is going to add a wrinkle to damage control. Is Bailey gonna want the title? She gonna get a little bit jealous?
Well, I wondered that at the end of that match too. I'm wondering how they're gonna if they were gonna play this as to somebody came in, took her shit. Yeah, she's my friend, but so were Brock and Cody. So I was wondering the same thing. I was like, I wonder if they're going to develop that possibility because that leaves that open for that.
I think they will. Probably, certainly.
He'll come back.
Io getting a win over Bailey would do a lot for her.
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely. Good call.
She needs a big win. She hasn't gotten a big win.
That is a fantastic call on your part.
Oh. So
wow.
We'll see. Unless Vince gets his hands on it. It's like, no, I like.
Charlotte gets the fucking belt back.
Well, she needs to at least make 16 or 17. Rick wants her to beat his record, so she should beat his record.
Nobody.
She's 16 right now.
Record. 14.
Is that what it is? 14?
Well, she's already.
They quoted her. They quoted her as 16 last night.
They what?
I could have swore during her ring entrance they quoted her as
They're marketing a shirt that I
Yeah.
saw during the commercial that is a Charlotte and Rick T-shirt, and it says 30 times most decorated family. So, I mean, 14 is just stuck in my head because we all know
Charlotte can go. Charlotte can go. I'm not hating on Charlotte.
absolutely not. I'm not going to pick on her at all, except for her ridiculously bad face.
Among other things.
She should take the mask from Andrade and bring it to the WWE.
Oh, she doesn't look that bad.
Shouldn't look that good
her
either, John.
entire face.
She's got butterface. Everything is sexy about her. Butterface.
Butterface. It's messed up.
All right, so the
Butterface.
main event of the evening.
Yes.
First of all, before I read any of this off, Herm, I told you when we were going to do this, and you said, do I have to watch a show? I don't know anything about it. And I said, WWE does the best video packages. You'll know everything you need to know about this match before the entrances.
Filibuster
Did I
for
lie
a
to you?
second. I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, they set it up.
And they went way back, too. They went back all the way to Royal Rumble, WrestleMania.
Years, the whole nine.
Yeah. The fact that, they grew up together. They were all like brothers. And, now there's all this dissent. I try to tune in and get the greatest hits package on FS1 because I'm not going to watch Friday Night SmackDown. I'm just not. And knowing that this is going to be tribal combat, and I loved the interaction. What do the elders think of this? Man, it was their idea. Oh, shit. Okay, now we got something. They put Jimmy in the hospital. I don't want to blow all the good stuff while John is gone, but he knows this story backward.
Right.
They put Jimmy Uso in the hospital. Solo Sikoa, the Usos' little brother,
Yeah.
is standing right next to their cousin Roman Reigns, and the story is incredible. It's the best thing that company has going on right now. And even if you like it a little bit, you'll look on Facebook or Instagram for the WWE, 3-minute reel. Here's what happened with the Bloodline. I eat that shit up. It's great. This is the storytelling I like.
Yeah, I mean it's a great story that has all kinds of abilities to just throw matches intertwined into it. Amongst all of those people, not just Roman and Jay, but all of those guys. After this weekend, there's 3 or 4 revenge options for Jay, or challenges from any of the 3 guys that came in and whooped his ass.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely story development with that is nice and easy to work with.
As much as I said earlier that the chicanery that went on during the Seth Rollins Finn Balor match ruined it, the chicanery that went on in this match, and it was already 20 minutes in.
It made this match.
Correct. Oh, Jonathan, stop
Christ.
it.
Here we go.
I'm going to give you my dissertation. We'll throw it to John, and then we'll throw it to Herm. From the beginning, big fight feel. Jay comes out all white with the white lei. I'm challenging my tribal chief. I'm ready to ascend. Now here come me too. I mean, I like Hispanic better, but
yeah,
we'll leave it alone. John's a nice guy. So
you like what better?
Hispanic leis.
I mean,
dude, I got a Latino
for a
fetish.
year, so I'm not going to argue with that.
Moving right along.
Yeah.
So then, Roman comes out with all the pomp and circumstance.
Yeah,
immediately.
And the hot peppers around his neck.
I love the hot pepper necklace.
No, that's not to interrupt.
He's had that for a few.
But do you remember the year that I grew through COVID? I grew the hot peppers in the house,
yes.
And then I dried them and I sewed them, and they were the Christmas peppers, and I made them.
It looks like it, doesn't it?
Jen came in right halfway into around this match when it started, right? And Jen's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "It's a necklace. It's a symbol of the tribal." She's just like, "Looks like he's got fucking Christmas peppers around his neck."
Yeah, your Christmas peppers would look better than that.
And I'm like, babe, they do. They're probably some sort of island pod or something, but whatever. But yes, they totally look like the little dehydrated red hot peppers I made and called Christmas peppers that year.
Yes, they did.
We didn't
Wow.
have fucking what's the shit? The kiss it under you kiss under it.
Mistletoe.
We didn't do mistletoe that year. We had Christmas peppers. So, but she's like, he's got Christmas peppers around his neck. What's that all about?
Good on Jen. I love her to death. Again, big fight feel, and of course, I didn't expect this because it's a pay-per-view. Immediately takes the microphone. SummerSlam, acknowledge me. Yes, he's asserting his dominance. And there's not a member of the bloodline, whether they're together, apart, fighting together, hugging, don't care. There's not a member of that team that I don't like. So this made this even better for me because for the first 20 minutes, you have Roman and Jay. They're just pounding each other. Jay takes the offense for a little bit. Roman takes the offense for a little bit. Tables here, kendo stick there, powerbomb on the chairs. Tribal combat, anything goes, right? When Roman tries to leave through the crowd and Jay chases him, that to me, I was like, dude, that is the most chicken shit heel thing that you could do. That is old school Ric Flair. That is old school Roddy Piper. That is Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody in Memphis. Doesn't matter who it is. It's Memphis.
No, that's jumping the barrier and trying to escape through the crowd shit.
Right.
That's Memphis.
Oh, yeah.
That's Memphis. Every heel in Memphis ever. So he gets out into the crowd. Jay catches him, and here comes where the shenanigans come in. Here comes Solo. Pow. You mentioned the fan earlier, but you were talking about the one over your head, John. Did you hear the person probably 5 feet from them, the camera, picked it up so clearly? Solo, what are you doing? That's your brother. You shouldn't be hitting him.
Yes. That guy was in the crowd specifically. Like literally, dude, here's $500. We're gonna move you up here. I need you. Here's the best seat. All you got to do is scream this line when they come over near you.
You know what that reminded me of?
Oh, that was such a fucking plant.
Oh, I don't know.
I will bet.
Just been one of those people that were just super into it. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe
I'm gonna look up this name real quick, and this is what this guy, plant or no plant. I want to know if Herm remembers this. I think it was SummerSlam '94. Wikipedia Jones. All right.
The Lex Luger and Tatanka show. And who else was there?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, that's the Owen. What are you doing? That's your brother.
Nope. Or was it King of the Ring before? The football player that they put on commentary. Is this guy a wrestler? How much does this fellow weigh? Throughout the whole freaking night.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I do remember that.
We could have had a drinking game. I can't remember.
Was it a football player?
It was. Former Indianapolis Colt. Let me try another search.
Yeah, that was terrible. I watched that. But I was 10, so I don't really remember. But
normally I could remember this guy's name.
Yeah, but that was terrible. Like,
oh,
I know what you're talking about too. Was it a
Art Donovan?
Yeah, that's
Art
right.
Donovan.
That's right.
Because the show was in whatever show it was in Indianapolis. They bring him out. Hey, it's Art Donovan. Just went in the Hall of Fame. Hey, great to have. I'm great to be here. Thanks for having me. Yada yada yada. They introduced Razor Ramon. Is this guy a wrestler? How much does this fellow weigh?
Even though he didn't listen, because the ring announcer always announces how much they weigh.
Right? Done.
Right. So, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, he's pretty much the worst ever. But he has a reputation for being the worst ever.
I have to give Herm's theory some credence.
Now,
I do believe that guy may have been a plant. Just to
be,
get over like the huge I sit and scour the internet, or I still believe it's all real, like the guy at the NWA convention. It's still real to me, damn it.
And I just choose to believe that it wasn't a plant. And
You
Yes,
can
you
choose to
can.
believe whatever you like.
There's still
You
people
won't,
that
you won't hold you to- you're allowed your own beliefs.
yeah.
on this
I
show.
don't
It's
know.
really-
It
I'm
probably
like, it was just too pretty and too precise and too perfect. And for me,
I know, but
as
wouldn't
soon as
that be
it's that-
amazing if it
it
wasn't?
would. It totally would. And I totally got. I was like, that would be awesome if they caught that guy as an actual fan. But I'm like, I'm betting both of my nuts. That dude was there. It was. That's
Well,
literally it. It's too perfect. When
If you're
anything,
gonna bet both of your nuts, I'm not gonna
it's
contest
just.
that.
It was literally just too perfect. It was clear as the day. They caught
know.
every word of it, and the guys calling the match shut the fuck up for like 14 and a half seconds. They
It
did
is a
that
little bit.
all night.
It is a little bit.
Just too perfect.
A little bit
is
too
all I
convenient.
said. Like,
a little bit.
like
A little
all
bit
of that, all of those
melodramatic too.
circumstances lined up, but I can't win $3 in the local fucking lottery. Come on.
I'm looking at the time as we're coming down to an hour and a half. We're going to go a little bit over, guys. So
course.
everybody out there who watches this later, we promise you 90. We're going to give you 95, maybe 100 if you're nice.
So we should talk about the finish of this match. Probably
That's where I was going. Jay is right there, hits the big move, goes for the pin. 1, 2. Pulls a guy in a sweatshirt, hoodie, mask face, pulls him off. What in the hell is going on here? Michael Cole, this is where he earned my respect.
Oh,
What in the hell is going on here? Who the hell is that?
Who the hell is that?
That's what we were saying. That's what we're saying on our couches. Who the hell is that?
Who the fuck just pulled him out of the ring, man?
Even when he pulled the hood back, I didn't recognize
he still had the mask on, and when the mask come down, he goes, "What the hell, Jimmy? Why? I'm like, this.
Well, yeah, he was right there in front of the table. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'll say this. I hated the finish, but if they were going to continue the story, this is probably the best move they could have played.
I don't disagree, but I have questions then.
That's
I have
what
questions for
saying.
you.
Obviously, they're not calling the story because the end of the story would have been Jay, or not even, because there would have been some other challenge for.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't be Jay to win. It should.
No.
It should be Cody.
Cody
needs to beat Roman.
But the way that it all ended, I was telling Chris, the way that it all ended, it leaves all kinds of splintering and backlash and same storyline, all new threads, whole new branch of a tree.
Sure, you have Jimmy and Jay, twins,
you have revenge,
brothers.
You have revenge
brothers,
matches with Jay and anybody that came to fucking Roman's aid.
You have Solo and Jay. You have toward the end of that match where Solo accidentally got speared by Roman, and as they're going outside the ring, he's telling Solo to do something. He goes, no, you just flattened me in there. All right, let's talk about this another time. We got a job to do. And then Jay spears him through the barricade. I'm like, see, this is opening up a lot of doors. My issue with this is you just spent most of Friday night burying Jimmy Uso, not burying him, so to speak, but you left him for dead. And now here he is. Friday night's going to be an interesting night for you wrestling fans because you're going to hear, I want to hear why. Much like Michael Cole yelled into that microphone, why, Jimmy? Why, damn it? That's your brother. Herm is right. It leaves like easily 4 or 5 different storylines. And
it opens up a new level of the Dave and Earl Hebner storyline.
Oh dear God!
It's another storyline that uses twins.
Wow,
I like it. We're gonna.
You guys must have some older audience members watching this.
We're just older and we just remember some shit. We remember when wrestling wasn't even wrestling.
No. One of the things for me, before John, I want to throw this to you in a second. For me, I want to know the why. Why Jimmy? Why? All the possibilities that are there that are open up to. But the one thing that I loved about this, and I was telling her when you took a short break, there's nothing about this story I don't like. The Bloodline is the most exciting and interesting story they have and have had for 2 years. And every time you think you figured it out, they throw another curveball at you.
Okay, so I'm gonna up the ante and say, within the last 10 years, this has been the best story they've had since I can't remember. That finally wrestling is good again. I feel like, watching WWE, and I skipped Dynamite, but Collision's really good. It's a good time to be. I mean, I like CM Punk, so I like watching him.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, this is the most complex story they've done since I don't remember when. I mean,
I can't even think of any, to be honest, that has this much legs.
Well, Austin and McMahon, maybe?
It doesn't.
It's good, man.
It is good. And it doesn't involve like a lot of the big stories in the past or big shit that Vince has tried to do, has used like
that's because Vince isn't booking anymore.
No, I understand that, but I'm just going by history. A lot of their storylines have been cooperative storylines, as far as you have a small clique that pulls in people from all over the place, and they get people to turn heel, and you work that good guy, bad guy side. What you've introduced here, and they've dabbled with in the past, like with the Undertaker and Kane lines, is you've added family and blood, and it adds a degree of involvement that everybody on the planet can understand, because everybody's got some family member they fucking hate, and a family member they'd come to the fucking rescue of any day of the week. Yep. So the storyline tends to resonate with every human being on the planet that has family. So it's a great storyline. It has shitloads of avenues to run it and develop. And if something doesn't work, you literally can just pivot and drop something off and let it cool. I would agree, it's a fabulous storyline.
Yeah, so you folks have changed my opinion of the match. Like I didn't like the finish, but it's the best way to move it forward.
Yes, that finish was the best way to allow that storyline to explode in 5 different directions all at once, and for them to layer them any way they want to.
We're gonna have the elders, aren't we? Aren't we gonna have Alpha and
we've got to see some elders, right? We need
Rock, maybe
somebody. We've got to have. They brought them in, and we never actually saw. I mean, back in the old days, if they'd have gone this route, you'd have seen some tribal elders bullshit scene. And I think,
but it's not bullshit. That's the way.
No, it's not. It's not. But that's my point. You would have seen it. They would have brought in like Snuka and some other brown wrestlers and made something happen. All right. It's just the way it was back then. Let's be honest. All right. Today, they're actually running a family line. That's a family bloodline.
They're on top. They're on top.
That is involved in wrestling for a long time. Okay. So you're taking a little bit of WWE, WWF history, tying it all together, but but the whole bloodline thing is that it is an actual family. It's not 1980s where they just created one and put some people in feathers. So it actually, I mean, you could go online.
Did you just say put some people in feathers?
Yeah, I mean, that's what they would have done.
That's the wrong nationality, dude.
No. But that's my point.
Time out. Offsides clipping. Chief Jay Strongbow is an Italian fella named Joe Scarpa. The guy who played his brother in the 80s is an Italian fella.
That's what they did back then. It didn't matter. They didn't care who you were. If you were the right shade of brown, now you were Hawaiian.
That's true. Like
It-
Yokozuna too. He
didn't
wasn't.
There you
matter.
go. See,
You know
a
what I mean?
Samoan
If John Morocco had
Japanese guy.
panned up a little bit more, he'd have been one of the fucking Islanders. It's just the way it was back
But they
then.
have enough Anawa'i Samoans to fill the void. They
No,
don't
that's
need
my
to find
point. That's my
anybody.
point.
Yeah.
That's what we had. That's what they would have had to do back then. Now this is a legitimate family, a legitimate, nobody's appropriating anybody's culture. This is their family culture. So
Yeah.
This
works.
isn't Scott Simpson from Minnesota legally changing his name to Nikita Koloff and pretending to be Russian his entire
Right.
life.
You know, I mean,
But he did well.
this-
He did a good
this-
job.
this
But-
they're not. This isn't Tatanka, bro. Okay.
Yeah, but Tatanka was a legit
No, I
Native
know he was.
American.
I know he was Native American, but
But he
there
was a
was-
stereotype on TV.
right.
Yes.
Right. He was a complete stereotype.
He used to
And
be
this
my
is not.
favorite.
This is just more of their culture and how they their culture. So
I can't
it's
believe I
not
just heard those words
stereotypical.
tumble out of Jonathan's mouth.
my
Tatanka used to be
favorite?
my favorite.
When I was a little kid, of course. Of
Tatanka.
course.
Buffalo.
I was like 10. I love the
Buffalo.
Tatanka.
And you know, to close off the whole bloodline thing, you know, as far as last night was concerned, they grow them different in that family. There's not a person that you're watching in these four human beings, Roman, Solo, Jimmy, or Jay, that isn't a legit star. They are that good, and they are that good in the ring, out of the ring, persona-wise. There's nothing you can't poke a hole in these guys at all.
So where do you go from here then? Where do we all
That's-
go from here? That's the
I
question.
don't know, because I thought I had this figured out, and then Jimmy ruined the entire thing.
Yeah.
I thought
always
Roman.
thought
I
that-
You're gonna
thought
have to
after
see how
the
it
Solo
shakes out.
thing,
I mean, it's going to take at least a month for everybody this to shake out and figure out who's pissed at who.
to answer John's question, before the match, here's what I thought in my mind's eye: Roman's going to win. We already know this
of course.
in our head because he's
Yep.
got to break all the records and then go to WrestleMania and lose to Cody.
Right.
That
Right.
in my mind's eye. I actually thought that Jimmy would make an appearance to help
Uh-huh.
his brother and somehow screw it up, and then they would be at loggerheads with each other, and then Solo's just going to be the prick at the side of Roman, but he plays
Oh.
the role well.
That's one thing that I meant to talk about. Like when they were teasing it, I thought, oh, it's going to be Roman versus Solo next.
Oh yeah, during that one,
Like, yeah,
Interaction.
that was huge. And they've been teasing that for a few weeks now, not just
Yeah.
here.
Well, that particular moment is that's a door left open. Correct.
Mhm.
Because if at any time anybody's like, you know what, why don't we just make him pissed about the shit that happened at SummerSlam, that little exchange, and there's a whole new storyline on. That's a whole new set of matches right there. That's, you know what I mean? That's just perfect.
Yep.
For somebody to switch sides back after from Roman back to Usos.
And
You know,
have
after
the
that
Usos-
bullshit, I did what I did there, but you treated me like shit, and there it is.
Have the Usos ever faced each other? They may
not
have.
that I'm aware of.
They may have. I don't remember. I don't know if they have or not, but if this is the first time, it's about time there was a first time.
Yeah,
So yeah,
they should just they're gonna go.
Yep.
If that match happens, they both need to go.
They teased it a couple times during the whole bloodline deal where, you know, Jimmy's dissenting, now Jay is dissenting, now we're back together, and then Roman gives the credo, you know, you got to tell him he's out. Yeah, okay, you know what, you're out. And then he turns around and kicks Roman, I'm out too. And the
yeah.
brothers stay together. They beat Roman and Solo at the show just a month or two ago in London. I watched that show. That was freaking fantastic.
It was good.
They're doing all the right things, but it's these curveballs. I don't know who's in charge of this story. I would love to know. I'd like to write them a little card and say thank you for piquing my interest after being gone since 2007 when one of your top wrestlers whacked his family and then killed himself.
Oh, God. All right.
You know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
had
yeah.
to. I throw a Benoit reference once a month on any show I do. I don't care if it's the NASCAR show.
I'm a better dad than Chris Benoit.
I have that shirt.
No
I should have
shit.
wore it. Herm got me that shirt. I should have wore it
I bought
tonight.
him that shirt. Better better dad than Chris Benoit.
That's
I screamed. It was at the, it
awful
was
and
at the
awesome
London.
at the same time.
It was at the London show, the one where the Usos had the match with Solo and Roman. Guy in the front row. I screenshotted the shirt and I sent it out, and I'm like, I gotta find this shirt. And Herm texted me about an hour later and goes,
Yeah, I
"What
was like,
size?"
"Oh, what size? I just need to know what size."
I
Like,
found
that's
it.
like
What
I just-
size?
Hot Topic action or something. you
Yeah,
found?
I
No.
just found. I literally Googled "better dad than Chris Benoit shirt."
Like T Public or T Plus, one of those fan art things.
Yep, and that was it. I was like, "You got a color and what color and what size?"
I don't think you asked me for a color. You just asked me a side. I got the same powder blue one that the
This
guy
is
was wearing in the
Powder
front
blue,
row.
the same one. You're like,
Oh,
"I need that
man.
shirt." Well, that's the one. But yeah, I bought him that shirt. Best $30 I ever spent.
I get so many looks in the grocery store when I wear that shirt. I'll either get thumbs up or I get angry faces.
So people know. People get it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
daughter loves the shirt. She thinks it's hilarious.
And she's like, yeah, that's totally true.
Yeah, Dad, you haven't killed me yet, so this must be
You
true.
know, you're doing pretty good.
Right? You're still
Oh,
alive.
gosh.
Fuck it.
I'm still alive. So you're doing a good job, Dad.
All right, John,
Yeah.
you asked me. Now I'm gonna ask you.
Mm.
Same question. Where do they go from here in your mind?
Well, they have to do the Uso versus Uso.
They're gonna have to.
They have to. Absolutely.
Don't give it away on free TV. Make us pay for it or
No,
stream it.
no, yeah, absolutely. Wait for a pay-per-view.
Don't go WCW on us.
Maybe.
Hey, if they'd have done that, we'd have never had Razor Ramon that night.
That's
at
a good
least
point.
go at least till Royal Rumble, I would say, with that.
For Jimmy and Jay?
Yeah.
What's the next pay-per-view on the docket? Isn't it like Payback or something?
Payback is the next.
Payback
I
is
don't
what they were
I
pushing
would
at
I
the
would
end
wait
last
to
night.
build it.
I would.
wait to
So would
build
I.
it.
So would I. But you have now. You build the seeds, and take it to Survivor Series, November. You put those
Yeah.
two in the ring. Finally, you have whetted everybody's appetite. We've all been waiting. Boom! Now you got it. Now they're going to throw the other curveball again. I want to know who's booking this because so many good things can happen.
Well, it's all Triple H with feedback from other people. And
A lot of this-
he books long term. So
Mhm. But a lot of these twists
Yeah, well,
and turns.
you've also got a wrestler writing and dealing and putting together a wrestling show,
Mhm.
and you now have a wrestler who is relating and is the boss of other wrestlers. While H is a businessman, he's also a wrestler, so he understands that side where Vince was just shut up, take the little bit I'm giving you, and just deal with it.
I
Well,
will
if you
say
watched-
this.
if
Go
you
ahead,
watched
please.
NXT, you know that he books long term,
Mhm.
which is what we've seen with the Bloodline, because that's been going for a while. And Paul Heyman just said we're at the bottom of the third with this story.
Right, like this
Just
thing's got
there
legs. This
yesterday.
story has legs. It could go on for. I mean,
Yeah.
you could throw a Universal title championship in there, swap and whatnot. But even still, the story will continue to have legs. Doesn't matter if anybody in the bloodline takes the belt. There's still more story. Somebody is going to be pissed and want it, and it's a very easy to develop and continue storyline.
Yeah, so I don't
It's
know
just a
where we
real
go
smart
from here.
move.
I don't know where we go from here. I think I'm with Chris. I think that it has to be Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania, because that's
That's the
a lot
money.
of people. A lot of people thought he should have won at last WrestleMania, and he
It
didn't.
does.
So
It does. But how does that? Here's my question: how does Cody play into the blood? In order to get that belt from him, how does that play into the bloodline story?
I can
that's what
answer
I
that.
don't- That's what I
I
don't
can
know.
answer.
Go
I
for
can
it.
answer that.
What do you think? How do you think that has to get drawn in?
Okay, so you got WrestleMania, which is going to be in late March, early April in Philadelphia.
Right.
You have all these shows, one a month, leading up. who's to say that, Jay is feeling overwhelmed? You got 3 people whooping on me every single chance they get. You come to, like, I don't know, the Royal Rumble. Jay's had enough. I want to take you 3 on. 2 on 3. I just need to find a partner. And he goes and asks everybody and their brother, be their partner. He's like, nah, man, you've screwed me over one too many times. You've done this. Your family's done this. You can go suck a dick. You're out of here. One guy answers the call. Cody Rhodes.
Because Uso's got a dream.
Now, wait, there's more. So
I'm just saying, is that what it is? I mean, he's got it tattooed on his fucking chest. Is because
no, that's Cody.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is that why
No.
Cody joins with him? Because Uso's got a dream?
No. He joins with him because he wants Roman just as bad as Jay.
All right.
Okay, so now you have that match.
We're going to develop that because him and Brock have pretty much shaken hands and respect and blah, blah, blah.
Pretty much, yes.
All right.
Now, move a little forward. Who's the only guy to pin Roman Reigns in 3 years?
Jay
Uso. So you get Cody to take the W over Roman Reigns in the big tag team match. Roman wants his revenge. You want me? You want this? I'll give it to you. WrestleMania. Boom. There's how you get him in. I should be booking this shit.
We'll see. It's an exciting time to be a wrestling fan. Finally, the product is good.
It doesn't suck. I will say that.
No, it's good. It's good, especially SmackDown.
You know remember how good we thought it got in the 80s?
Oh, yeah.
In the early in the 90s.
Yeah,
like,
the 90s were
well, the development from
the late 90s were fantastic.
The development
the early 90s were awful.
Well, that was my thing. Is the development from 90 to 2000 was absolutely incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Incredible. And that's kind of what you're seeing now. You're seeing much better development of stories that actually hold, that you can follow and get with and stick with.
Nobody wants to watch a match because the pirate stole Bret Hart's jacket. Okay. Right. Nobody wants to watch a match because somebody cut Tatanka's ponytail off or whatever the fuck it was, except for John. John was all in on the Tatanka.
Right, and we're having a haircut.
No, he cut the red. Didn't he cut the red part off or something?
I think you're right. Okay, I'll do you one better. Nobody wants to watch 2 really good heels fight at SummerSlam where the rule is you can't punch each other in the face. Shawn Michaels and Rick Martel.
Right.
And they're instead of fighting over the girl,
right,
they're fighting over, hey, we'll fight, but you can't punch me in the face. I'm too pretty.
It's the pretty boy match. And
really, it was a pretty, and for a pretty boy match, that's a pretty cool stipulation for a pretty boy match. It's like Anchorman. No touching the face or the hair.
The hair.
It's like,
right.
Right? You know what I'm talking about?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Literally, we're like, Frank, where'd you get the grenade? I don't know. Same things. Same exact.
I just killed a guy with a trident.
I have a grenade. Where'd you get the grenade? I don't know.
You might want to lay low for a while because you're probably wanted for murder.
Oh my Lord.
But yeah.
But yeah, like that was the story development we had in the early 90s, whereas you had much better stories by the end of the decade.
Oh, 96, 97, especially 97.
97 was like sweet spot.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So as we close this out, John, thank you. I know you want to start writing again, and hopefully, Colin, if you're watching this, John's going to write again.
Oh, jeez.
We're going to make it happen. I'll make it happen. John's going to write again. He's feeling oozy right now. He's feeling real oozy.
Ooh.
It is fun. I need to figure out something to write about.
Herm, thank you again for putting up with this tonight and actually watching the show. Let me show you. I'm going to tell you, Jonathan, how much of a trooper this guy is. I asked him a 3 months ago, hey, you want to produce the Speedway Review, my weekly NASCAR show? You don't have to talk. You don't have to do anything. Just produce, lay low, hang back. He watches the races. He comes in with his commentary from the common man perspective, if you will, and just basically is like our man on the street. The rest of us have been watching racing our entire lives. We know what we're going for. Not Herm. Herm comes in with, you know what? As a fan sitting on my couch, what that guy did was stupid, and I like this, and touch this, and move this. And he picked a driver and bought a T-shirt, so he's committed.
I just feel it's better to enable to produce a show if I know the topic of the show.
No argument there.
You know,
no
it
argument
just makes
there.
for better shows.
Oh,
That's why I watched 4 hours and 45 minutes of this.
We can do 4 hours, 5 hours for WrestleMania watch along, can't we?
No, we're not, because I go to no.
Dude, I could do that. I could have pieces of fabric ready for like when you tear a bicep. We could do it nice. I got all kinds of sound effects.
I did that once.
For God and Jesus and Mr. McMahon.
Thank you very much. Sheiky Baby still lives on Dysfunction Junction.
That's right.
But for all these guys and for me, thank you. If you guys watch this at any particular point in time, we'd love to do something WWE again. When we do it is going to be a topic for discussion. But John, doors open. When we figure it out, we let Herm know.
Yeah, I thought it was a great conversation that we just had. You know,
absolutely
awesome. Some really good points, some really great opinions. It was excellent.
And and there are the drums. So we're going to say goodnight, and we will see you at the end of the song, and we will see all of you Tuesday night on Dysfunction Junction.
Thanks, folks.
Judgment falls upon you at first light. I'm the hand of God. I'm the dark Messiah. I'm the vengeful one. In the blackest moment of a dying world, when a new
Is Backlund still in there?
Backlund is still in.